Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope you're all having a good day and enjoying Monarch or Relic or the Vault or not crying over ion changes. Either way, I know some of you guys watching might be new here. We're growing very rapidly and it's awesome, but I should also explain what I'm about to do so you don't freak out. So every now and then I like to bring back a series called Iniquity Hacked, where I showcase someone in the community that I believe deserves more love or recognition, and today is no exception. With Monarch being introduced and everyone trying to decipher the best way to play her, I thought it'd be relevant and a good idea to showcase my friend Dinosaur D123. You've heard me talk about Titans in the past, and that'll all sound like a child trying to speak for the first time after you listen to him. I made this comparison the other day, and now I'm sticking to it. Dino is like the Bill Nye of Titans. I kid you not. He's got them broken down into a science. It's enlightening to listen to, and I hope you guys agree. So without further ado, here's Dinosaur D's Monarch Mechanics and Tactics Guide. If you enjoy it, be sure to check out his YouTube and Twitch channels, which will be in the description. He's constantly releasing new content, and I think we could all learn a lot from him. So Dino, please take it away.
Everything changes.
Hello guys, this is Dinosaur D123 here. We're going to be covering our Monarch Mechanics Guide now. So starting out, we're going to be talking about the different kits and the different core upgrades and skill trees that I would recommend you go with, as well as talking about some mechanical things that will help you with understanding the Titan and improving your gameplay. So first off, Monarch is a ton of fun. Definitely give it a try if you haven't already. It's a great choice for any team or competitive gameplay, pubs alike. Very good at supportive or offensive roles depending on how you decide to go about your build and playstyle. So getting into the kits, the tier 1 kits are the same as standard, counter ready, overcore, all of that, that's unchanged. Getting into the tier 2 upgrades, you have 4 of them. There is Shield Amplifier, which makes Energy Siphon gain 25% more shields than before. Energy Thief will give you 10% increased core gain and allow Titan executions to give you a battery, as well as replace your termination animation that you get. Survival of the Fittest will remove doom state from you when you pull a battery. So if you get a battery, you'll get about a half a bar and an overshield instead of staying doomed. And Rapid Rearm reduce the cooldown for your rearm ability by 5 seconds. Now let's get into the tier 1, the core skill tree, so to speak. So for Monarch's core, she has Upgrade Core, and instead of the typical cores that the game has where it's kind of a push to win, you activate your core and you do a ton of damage, there are different skill trees that you can kind of go with to improve your base gameplay instead of having a quick burst of success with normal cores. So getting into this, there is Arc Rounds, which increases the damage you do to overshields and drains enemy vortex and thermal shield faster, and gives you, I believe, another 10 bullets on your ammo magazine. Missile Racks will double the amount of salvos you get for your rocket salvo bursts, so upgrading from 6 salvos to 12. And Energy Transfer will allow your Siphon ability to be targeted towards friendlies and heal them, instead of just being used for yourself. Getting into tier 2, we have Rearm and Reload, which will cut down substantially the rearm activation time. Not the cooldown though, just the activation time for it, and the make your chain gun reload faster. Maelstrom multiplies your electric smoke damage per second by 4, roughly 4, and does more damage to pilots. And Energy Field increases the area of effect for your Energy Siphon, allowing you to hit more targets more easily. And then tier 3, we have the multi-target system, which will replace your salvo rockets with multi-targets, which are kind of like tone striking rockets, but they are slower moving and deal more damage. Superior Chassis, which will increase your Titan's max health to 6 bars, heal you by 2 bars upon activating if you're not doomed, or restore your doom bar if you are doomed, and remove the ability for enemies to deal critical hits to you. Or you can use the Exo 16 Accelerator upgrade, which turns it into kind of a devotion type primary weapon rather than say a Spitfire. So it'll do more faster fire rate and more damage the longer you shoot it for. So getting into the build choices that I would go with. When it comes to kits, if you're in Titan Brawl or most modes, I would probably recommend Overcore and Energy Thief so that you can get batteries from Terminations and get your core faster. I wouldn't necessarily recommend Shield Amplifier. You might want Rapid Rearm if you are playing more supportive and aren't worried about your own health as much. And Survival of the Fittest, I would recommend if you are in Last Titan Standing. That's definitely a good choice there, so that you can get out of Doom State towards the end of the game to get out of health, to make up for mistakes and have health advantage towards the end. So that can come in handy there. Getting into your core skill trees, if you want an aggressive high damage build, I would recommend going with the arc round so you deal more damage to enemy defenses, have more ammo, and do more damage in general. And tie that with either Maelstrom to counter enemy pushes, punish mistakes, and destroy people when they're trying to terminate you with that electric smoke with that increased damage. Or you can go Rearm and Reload for faster reloads and all of that so that you can get more damage out of your primary itself. And then either Exo Accelerator if you want the maximum damage potential, which will allow your damage to carry into more cores more quickly to keep giving you overshields when you activate it to keep you alive that way. Or Superior Chassis for more durability and more survivability so that you can stay alive longer to do more damage in the long term. If you want a full support build so that you are not relying on yourself for damage, but your whole job is to keep your team alive, you're in the sidelines, you're hiding back behind teammates and keeping them alive as much as possible, allowing them to do their job as the best they can, and just be a team player, you would go Energy Transfer so that you can heal friendly targets after getting your first upgrade. Energy Field so that you can hit multiple targets at once, and so you can hit friendlies and enemies together more easily and heal multiple friendlies to keep your team alive. And then Superior Chassis if you want more survivability, or Accelerator if you want a little bit of damage potential for yourself. And then a more fun, potentially fun build, but not as effective as the chain gun damage build. If you want to focus on your ordnance for your damage output, you could be doing missile racks, so you get 12 salvos. You would run Maelstrom or Rearm and Reload, and you would trade out Energy Thief for Rapid Rearm to get your rearm more quickly. And you could go with multi-target system from there so that you're constantly having 12 to 24 multi-target systems to burst out and get high damage potential with your ordnance. So those are kind of the three main builds that I would recommend for now when it comes to your kind of playstyle. So like I said, the chain gun build is for aggressive play. The support build is all about supporting your teammates and keeping them alive. And then the ordnance is kind of a damage build, but more of just kind of a fun build, seeing how the chain gun has a lot better damage output than the missiles, or at least more consistent. As we're starting up, we're going to talk about a few quick things. So the reason I don't highly recommend Shield Amplifier is because it only buffs the shields that you yourself gain, not the shields that you give your teammates, so they still regain normal shields from what I can tell. The Energy Thief ability is my favorite tier 2 kit because you get roughly 36% core when you terminate people on top of the battery's health and overshield that you get from it. When you activate your cores, you get 2 electric smokes per core activation instead of 1. And you also get an overshield with every activation, so even if you get your 3rd upgrade, you're still benefiting from your overshield effects. And then the upgrade to arc rounds versus overshields, it's roughly like 50% or so stronger. If you're fighting an overshielded enemy, you can destroy their 2500 health overshield in 14 bullets, whereas normally it takes 21. so that gives you a perspective on how different the damage output is. And then the arc rounds will drain Flame Shield and Vortex similarly to the rate at which a Smart Core would. So it drains it probably 5-6 times faster and just melts through those defenses. It's a really good counter to Scorch and Ion for sure. Some stats for the Energy Siphon. The Energy Siphon will do roughly 100 damage to enemies, and the really amazing thing is that it'll do roughly 1800 damage to overshields, similar to the Arc Grenade, and it also applies a bit of a stunning effect. On top of this, you will at the same time gain 750% or 750 health for yourself. So it not only heals you, but it does really good damage against enemy overshields, countering batteries and other monarchs and shield gains and stuff like that. And it also has a small blast radius to heal multiple teammates. So guys, if we can stack up right here, I'll show the healing effect for multiples. So Quaid, Beauregard, you can stand close to. So I should be able to heal all three of them and myself. So I missed Bindi right there. Maybe, oh, I don't have energy transfer. I'm silly. I will do that in a second. So the Energy Siphon has a small blast radius to where if they're close enough together, it'll heal multiple targets. If you have the Energy Siphon ability, or if you have the energy transfer ability, and then if you have Energy Field, this small blast radius increases to that of about a dash or so. So it's kind of like a similar effect of the Arc Cannon, except for healing friendlies and destroying enemy overshields. If you play Titanfall 1, you'll understand kind of what I mean by that. So the Energy Field can heal your whole team if stacked on top of each other, and could also damage nearby enemies to heal yourself. And the Siphon ability can heal you multiple times at once from damaging enemies, which really comes in handy. So I'm going to get my energy transfer real quick from my core, and then we'll be showing off that. Alright, so stack up, guys. So I should be able to damage all of them. So see, even though I only have energy transfer, Bindi was able to heal, Glitchy was able to heal, and I got the shield effect from Beauregard if I wasn't already full shields. So now I gotta get a full core real quick again. That way I can get energy transfer, and then we will go through and show the blast radius of the energy transfer. That way you guys can see the benefits of the energy field. And the reason energy field is also really good is just that increased radius will make it so much easier to heal yourself while also healing your enemies, to keep everyone alive much more efficiently, including yourself. So you're not wasting your defense by healing your partners necessarily, you're always benefiting everybody. Alright, so go ahead and spread out, guys. So Bindi, you should be able to stand right about there, and Quaid right about there or so. That should do. So I can splash between them, and I should be able to heal them both. I think this is about the right area. Or it would help if I wasn't silly and activated my core, because I'm bad at this game. So I was able to heal them even from that radius. So you can splash it on the ground and get that explosive radius to benefit from Energy Siphon. Much easier. Beauregard, if you could, after this round, we'll meet in center for you to drop your particle wall, so we can show the effects of Chain Gun against Tone's wall. So Tone's particle wall is currently bugged against enemy hit scan, Titan hit scan weapons such as the Predator Cannon and the XO16 Chain Gun. For some reason, if there is an enemy Titan behind the particle wall in your reticle sight when you're shooting at the enemy wall, the wall takes 5 times damage, so it will destroy it much quicker, for whatever reason. And so a lot of people think it's the arc rounds doing it, but it's really just that bug applying, which is, like I said, it works for Legion's Predator Cannon as well as the Chain Gun, which I'll be covering again in my upcoming Legion Mechanics Guide. So we're about to showcase that. So Beauregard, drop your wall and stand behind it. or actually dash out of the way, and we'll see how if I can even destroy it. Is this a normal wall or an amp wall?
It's an amp wall.
Alright. So it took me roughly 60-70 bullets to destroy that. It wasn't doing very adequate damage. And now drop a wall and stand right inside my reticle, so don't move. And it died in roughly 25-30 bullets. So we could show that again, so go ahead and drop it and then move out of the way. Just so we'll get another example, that way they can see for sure that it is in fact what's happening. So if he's no longer my reticle, so my reticle's not lighting up, all of a sudden my bullets are incredibly weaker. Doesn't really make sense to me. It's a bug with Tone's wall. It's not just the chain gun, it's not just the gun shield, or the Legion Predator. They're not the problem. There's simply a bug with Tone's wall itself, that even if it's amped, if a Titan is behind it, then it's taking increased damage, which will hopefully be addressed soon, because Tone really needs that to be fixed. So talking about some of the other skill tree upgrades and mechanics for Monarch, the Maelstrom ability will amp your electric smoke damage by roughly 4 times the damage. I think it's roughly 1350 damage per second. I don't know the exact number for sure, but it's right around 4 times the damage output as regular electric smoke. The Superior Chassis, like I think I said before, will heal you 2 bars of health upon activation and restore your Doom bar, which it doesn't mention in the stats. It just says that it increases your max health, but the 2 bars that it adds to your max health, it will heal you. And something that's really important for this patch is the Titan Hunter pilot kit. It says it gives you 10% core meter when killing an enemy Titan, but what it does exactly is when you doom an enemy Titan, you get 10% increased core. You'll get 10% core towards your core meter when you kill a Titan. So Beauregard, damage me real quick so I can get my core. Thank you. Alright, so I'm gonna doom him, and from dooming him I will get the 10% core, not from actually killing him. So you saw right there. You don't get 10% from killing him, just from the doom itself, which I'm not sure was intended either. But so Titan Hunter is a must-have pilot kit for LTS or Titan Brawl, most definitely. Definitely give it a go, see what you guys think. So now we're going to be talking about some playstyle tips. So we've already talked about the potential builds with the aggressive build, the support build, and the ordnance build, and the kits that you could be using with them and what they do. So when it comes to playstyle, what do you need to do to be more successful? So you want to be avoid using your Siphon ability when under fire, because they will do more damage more than you're healing. So you're better off just simply shooting them and then healing from the side when you're out of combat. Targeting them from the sides when they're not aggroing you. Rocket salvos are a great source of damage, but it really helps their accuracy to aim for their feet around them, or around them rather than at them, because if you're aiming at them, you're more likely to miss. They're more likely to curve around. Whereas if you splash at them, it still does full damage, but it's going to hit the ground next to them if it misses the Titan, and still get full damage. So that can really help with the effectiveness of your salvos. Next we're going to talk about the rapid rearm. So for rearm, you always want to be careful about when you're choosing to activate it. If you're activating it only when your Siphon's gone, you're missing out on your opportunities. Same with the rocket salvo. You always want to do your best to activate it when you're out of abilities, rather than when you only have one on cooldown. And the other really cool thing about the Siphon shot is, like I said before, you'll benefit from using, you'll do increased damage to overshields with it. So you always want to use your first or your second Siphon when fighting another Monarch or another Titan with overshields, after their shield effect or their Siphon shot is applied. That way you're gonna completely sap the overshield away from them and be able to damage their health directly for an advantage in those engagements. Also, the chain gun actually has really good accuracy. As you can see, I have a pretty good distance and I'm landing almost every shot. so you don't always need to be ADSing with your chain gun to be applying good damage, and you get more mobility when you're actually walking than if you're aiming down sights. So that'll really help you out there. So just try to be smart with your positioning, be smart with your playstyle. Try to avoid pushing enemies, because getting caught out of position will kill you due to the lack of defense abilities that you have. So you always want to be doing your best to getting your damage passively or with a solid position, rather than pushing towards them as you're doing it. Always try to disengage as you're fighting whenever the opportunity arises. But play smart. Design your kits and your core build around the playstyle that you want and the playstyle that you plan on playing, and work with your kits and your playstyle as one. Your Monarch can have a very high success in various playstyles, but only if you design your build and your playstyle that you want to use around it. So you're not going to be very good at doing damage and pushing people if you're going to be using energy transfer, energy field, and superior chassis. You're not going to have the damage output. You have to play according to the kits that you chose and kind of stick to that playstyle. But based on how you can set up your Titan, you can benefit from multiple different playstyles to fit how you want to play the game. So lastly, we're going to get into 2 quick mechanics tips. So when using the rearm ability, your Y ability that you have, you can rearm sooner after siphoning than you can after rocket salvoing. So I'll show you here in a moment. So if you activate rearm right after you click RB to salvo, you will cut off your salvo and not get all of your missiles off. Or it will stop it from happening. So you always want to try to rearm after salvoing, otherwise you're going to have that, or after siphoning instead, so you don't have that problem. So right here, instead of having that problem where either you're cutting your missiles short or you're stalling your ability activation, you can siphon and then immediately rearm as your siphon animation is finishing, to save you time in your engagements to have another chance to heal sooner. And then lastly, you can melee cancel every ability that you have, similar to Ion's laser shot and the other offense abilities for other Titans, apart from Legion. So you can activate RB and then punch out of it to stop it from happening. You can siphon shot and cancel it if you're not ready to use it, so instead of lasering you can just punch away from there. And you could also punch to cancel your rearm from happening if you activate it by accident or decided that this isn't the right time to use it. So I believe that will cover everything that we know so far about Monarch. If anything major changes with Monarch or new mechanics or playstyle tips come out that are much more effective than what we talked about, I'll be sure to make an updated guide on it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hope you guys have a good day.